All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. My fucking camera focus. All right, there we go. All right, what's going on? This is going to be a raw, unedited video, real quick. Saw some people in the Discord asking for this video, and I can't believe I actually haven't made this video before. But so yeah, I'm 19 years old. I'm sophomore in college, and I've been day trading for about 5 years now. Holy unk. Been day trading for 5 years. Been trading futures for about two and a half. Yeah, maybe two. Um, and so I thought I'd tell you guys my journey on how I went from zero fucking dollars and not knowing what I'm doing to now a couple 100,000 in payouts, um, millions in funding, live account with almost 100% return. And yeah. All right. So first of all, I started trading or knowing what trading was when I was 14 years old. This was during the coronavirus pandemic. So I was basically, hope you guys can hear me. I was basically chilling at home, like we had just gotten moved to virtual school, and I was 14 years old, and me and my friends were just like playing 2K and Fortnite all fucking day. And I remember just feeling like shit. I was like, I'm not doing anything with my life. And I remember going on Twitter, and I went on Twitter and I saw a lot of people making money from options. Yo, I didn't realize that this was such a like a canon event, but this dude named Starboy999, STXR Boy 999, was popping off on Twitter trading these stocks. It was all options, and he would alert them for free on his Twitter every day and just bang like hundreds of percent returns. So what me and my one friend Mitch would do is immediately I was like hooked. I was like, yeah, like people are making insane money doing this shit from their phone at home. Like I didn't look at a chart. I didn't look at news. I had no idea what was going on. I just followed this dude's signals on Twitter. So I would go on every single morning at 9:30, and I would wait for this dude to tweet, and I asked my mom to open up a custodial Robinhood account. 14 years old, I had like $200 in there, that I had from like I don't even know like dude, I don't even know how I had $200 to my name at that point. But I just started trading options and like just basically signal botting whatever this dude would say on his Twitter, and I made like some money, believe it or not, which is insane. I made some money, but then it started going down because like that's not sustainable long term. I don't know where that dude is now. I'm pretty sure he's like lost all his money. But yeah, I made a bit from that, and then stretched out of that whole like signal bonding phase, and I started trading options on my own, and that's when I opened up like my first like community, I would say, and that's where I was signaling like stocks and stuff like that. That was probably sophomore year of high school, where it was just me and my friends in Discord, and I would just like signal them options trades that I was getting no chart work, just strictly from like news. So like I would look on Twitter, I would look on websites, earnings reports, everything like that. Way more fundamental analysis and just finding out like, okay, there's volatility coming into the stock. This is what I think is going to happen tomorrow for the stock. And I was doing well. Like I ended up making like pretty good money off of that, and then I also ended up making a couple of my friends like some solid money, nothing crazy, but like good money for a high schooler with no job. And that's when I was like, holy shit, like this trading stuff is actually legit. But I really just didn't like options that much. I didn't like how the contracts worked. I didn't like the whole like that you couldn't really scale in and out, like the whole adjusting your stop losses. Like I didn't love all that. So then junior year came, and I had to figure out where I was going for college, and I had football season. So I had a big year in football, and all of a sudden I was looking at playing football in college, and I was getting ready for all these different. I had to really pick up my grades if I wanted to go to one of these schools that I wanted to go to for football. So I kind of just abandoned trading like all of junior year and like beginning of senior year. I just basically never traded. I just didn't have time. It wasn't my focus. Like I was focused on football and I was focused on school and just trying to like figure out what I was going to do with my life. And so I basically took a whole break until after my football season senior year. And now this is where everything changed for me. Is when I I didn't meet this dude, and he's gonna be watching this. But I was in comp sci, my comp sci class at school, and there was a dude in front of me, and his name was Paul. And I had gone to elementary school with Paul. Like I had known Paul, but we hadn't talked that much. And I was literally just chilling, and I see him in front of me, and I look at his screen, and he's on Trading View, like drawing like fair value gaps and shit like that. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going? Like I had recognized Trading View, but I had never really used it. And so I talked to him after class, and I was like, "Yo, like, what were you doing there? Like, I used to trade options a little bit." And he was like, "Yeah, I trade futures. Like, I'm paper trading right now, because he wasn't 18 yet, so he was still paper trading before he could buy his own prop account and stuff like that." And literally like that, my entire fucking next 2 years of my life changed because Paul put me on to everything. He put me on to what ICT concepts were. He put me on to what futures were. He put me on to how to use Trading View. Like he was the most helpful person in my trading journey without a doubt. Like that dude actually fucking changed my life, and he put me on to literally like how to do everything. He put me onto Dodgy's IFVG course, where I learned IFVGs, and that became, obviously the entry model I know now and use now. And then all of a sudden I went from like, me and Paul never talking to this dude every day, like just learning from him, picking his brain on different shit, asking him about my analysis. I was fucking annoying the shit out of him in hindsight. Um, but, like I said, like I had, no fucking money to my name. I hadn't traded in a year, and now all of a sudden I'm trading this entirely different thing, and I'm learning all the technicals, all the basics. And so how it started out was I was pretty good at paper trading, and I opened up a Top Step account, after learning like the whole IFEG thing. I remember just basically I would just mark out like 15-minute and hourly liquidity levels, wait for a sweep, and just take a 1 minute inverse. That would be like all I did. It was just simple ass like dodgy type of shit, and it actually fucking banked. And I did pretty well, and I think I passed my first ever eval that I ever bought from Top Step. So I passed it, and then I ended up not getting a payout. I think I just blew it off of just losing trades. Like I don't think it was like a psychology thing. I think I just kind of, my luck streak ran out and my analysis wasn't great. Um, so then from there, like I started revising. I started like adding more elements to my shit, and this is middle of my senior year by now. And then all of a sudden, like by the end of my senior year, like I'm stacking accounts. I'm talking like stacking accounts. So like the entire second half of my senior year was just committed to just fucking stacking bread. So I got like 20 Apex accounts. I got like 5 Top Step accounts, all because I was, starting to trade a more complex system of IFVGs. And part of that was from PB Trading, Patty and Blake, because I started using top down analysis where I would like go on the higher time frames, look at SMTs, look at fair value gaps, actually find draws on liquidity where I thought price was going to go. And obviously with Paul's help, I would be using that for my analysis. And that was basically it. Like that was my turning point. I got my first payout on a Top Step. It was like my second or third eval that I had ever bought. And then I invested that into more accounts, and I kept ramping those up. And by the end of my senior year, I'd already done like almost 100K in payouts, which was fucking ridiculous. I literally went from 0 to 100K in like 5 months. It was fucking insane. And the way that happened is like, and this is like the main point of my journey. I don't want to skip over that because that is an influential point to make. The way that happened is I was dumb as fuck back then, and that will actually help you in trading because you just think, okay, like I'm just gonna take this trade, and if it wins, it wins, and if it loses, it loses. I'm just gonna keep on trading every single day, and we'll see what happens with my strategy. I actually, with the help of Paul and with the help of PB and Dodgy and all these people online, I actually made my own strategy, and I back tested it, and I noticed, oh shit, like this fucking works. Like maybe I should be doing this. So that's why I always say to people, like, there's 2 things that you should do if you backtest and you find out that your strategy works. One, trade that and only that, like good setups, only trade that. And 2, only trade once a day with consistent risk. I always say just take 1 trade a day. Like I very rarely take more than 1 trade a day, win or lose, just because that's all you need. Like, I'll see people who will blow their evals and they'll show me their day by day P&L, and it'll be like, yeah, I made 500 this day, but then the next day I lost 1,500. How the fuck does that happen? How do you lose 3 times as much as you made? It's either because you're over trading or because you're over leveraging. Risk the same amount, take the same amount of trades, one per day, and if your system is profitable over time from your back testing, then you will make money. That's kind of just that's welcome to math and probability and statistics. And the only if that's true and you're not making money, then it means one, either you're not executing well enough and you don't know your strategy in and out, or two, there's some sort of psychological thing going on, where I guess the best way to say it is you have your strategy, you know how to execute it, but you rush into a different trade, you take a trade that's not your strategy, you risk too much, shit like that. It's one of the two things. Either your analysis isn't good enough or your psychology is fucked. Or maybe your risk management, which is kind of part of psychology anyway. But yeah, so over that end of my senior year, I had my strategy and I was just like, all right, let me see what happens if I stick to this shit. So I stuck to it and I scaled. Every single payout would go into buying more accounts. I started with the Top Steps, then I got Apexes because they were super cheap. And then I got My Funded Futures, and I think that was it. I think that was it for that point. And I would just trade these like fucking crazy. Like every single day I would be risking like a lot. And I went kind of fucking stupid on them. Like I was risking a lot of money, but I was making a lot of money. And I ended up just stacking up these payouts. Then I committed to play football at college, which is where I am now. And I went to college, and I remember I came to college in August, like the second half of August. I didn't trade, which was my first break from trading since learning it from Paul. And over that time period, I met a dude named Jake on the football team, and that caused me to just get even more eager about trading because he was like, yo, you trade, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I've been getting into it, I've been learning it, but he hadn't like bought an eval, or maybe he did. Yeah, I think he did actually, but he hadn't gotten a payout yet. But he knew all the technicals. He knew my strategy. He knew his own shit. And we kind of bounced ideas off of each other. And then all of a sudden, right when our football camp ended, and we were able to be on for the New York AM session, we were calling every morning and just stacking up. And I remember that was from like September to January. We just could not fucking lose. Especially December through January, we might have lost once. I was doing like 20K a week on my Apexes. It was fucking ridiculous. So, and the way we did that is just we held each other accountable. Like every single day we would get online and we would be like, all right, you know, if we see a good setup, we're going to take it. If not, we're not. We took one trade a day. We risked the same amount every single day. I told him about that, about the one trade a day and what to risk. And we just took good trades and had fucking fun. The best, I always say, like, if you can find someone who trades the same shit as you, do it. Because that'll just make trading fun. Because the reality of trading is it's fucking boring. It fucking sucks. It, like, actually sucks. I sit here every morning for an hour alone, just looking at a fucking screen. It's fucking boring. That's why I play music, or sometimes I'll call my friend and shit like that. Like, I'll do all that. Because trading by itself just isn't that fun. Like, everybody makes these videos, like, where they're, like, celebrating and stuff like that to make it seem like it's a fun thing. It's fun hitting TP for sure, but, like, overall, it's just not that fun of a job. People don't usually pick up trading because it's a fun thing. Like, I get it. And if they do, that's why they usually lose, because they're looking for, like, a dopamine rush or, like, a get-rich-quick scheme. The real truth of trading is it's boring, but it's what comes from trading that is so exciting. And that's financial freedom, and that's locational and time freedom. Because trading, you work for an hour a day, you know, if you're in my situation, and you make money, and you can do it from wherever you want. You can do it on your phone if you want to. I do it on my PC, but you could do it on your phone if you want to. And then you just fuck off and enjoy your day. Like my day, I'm at college, I wake up, I did a day in the life on my TikTok and Instagram. But, you know, I wake up, I go do some cardio, I pray, I come back, I trade for an hour, and then I just go on with my day. I go to classes, I lift, I fucking, what else do I do, bro? Eat, you know, I study, I do all my shit, I just go on with my day. Trading is a very, very small part of my life. It takes me an hour, maybe an hour and a half max per day to actually trade, and then another hour of making content and trade recaps and talking to you guys. That's it. A 9 to 5 is 8 hours. And a 9 to 5 isn't scalable either. So we'll talk more about that scalability right now, actually. So then after January, me and Jake went on a tough losing streak. It was after Trump got elected that we really started to lose. We had a crazy day after Trump got elected where we made like 70K off the volatility. But then from there, like, we just could not get a fucking break. And fast forward a bit longer, I had the 20 accounts on Apex. I was still getting payouts from them every once in a while. Out of nowhere, they ban my shit and they say, like, yeah, you can't buy any more eval accounts and you can't trade these eval accounts, and we're going to move you to one live account. But then I tried to, and then they never ended up moving me to it. Fuck Apex, by the way. I hate Apex with a burning fucking passion. They're the shittiest prop firm in the industry. Top Step, My Fund of Futures, Alpha, Tradeify, Take Profit Trader are all better. So fuck Lucid, any of those are all better. So then I was like, I was pretty pissed. So then I decided to make the leap, and this was a big turning point for me, where I was like, bro, I'm done with these prop firm shits. I've made more than enough money off of payouts, and that's where the scalability comes in. Bro, if you take the same trade on one account versus 20 to 30 accounts, it's the same shit, just multiplied over. You can use trade copiers like TradeSync and shit like that, or Replicanto, any of those. I use TradeSync right now, and that shit will literally make you financially free. The way that I like to move it out is like, all right, so let's say you have a 50K account. Alpha Futures, you can buy a 50K account, and the max payout is 1.5. So let's say you make 3K on that and you're risking like 400 per trade. So how many trades is that? Plus 8, right? So you make 1.5K. That's nice. But let's say you have 3 alphas, you have 5 My Fund of Futures, you have 5 Top Steps, and you have 5 Lucids. And you take the same trade on all of them, right? Then that's 13 accounts. What's 13 times 1.5? It's $20,000. So now the same process that got you literally plus, what was it, plus 6 trades or something? I don't even, to make 3K divided by, 500 per whatever, that's six trades, we'll say. All you have to do is go plus 6 more wins than losses at some certain point, and you can pay out $20,000 fucking dollars. Plus 6 is light. I went plus 3 last week. Who knows what I'll do this week? I went plus 4 the week before that. Like, I already did that shit in 2 weeks, right? And that's for 3,000. Then once you take 1.5 out, all you need to do is make another 1.5. They take out another 1.5, then another 1.5. So then that 1.5 is only like 3 trades, right? So it's super simple to scale your shit, and that's all I did over senior year of high school to get me, and freshman year of college to get me to the point I'm at now. And it's what I'm doing now as a sophomore. But I made the switch to a live account. That was my big thing. I took all my money from these prop firms and I put a lot of it in a live account, and I started growing that shit up. That was earlier this year. That was in like May, maybe. So from May to now, December, I've been growing that live account. And then what I did was, what I've been doing, I've been trading the same fucking strategy, by the way, like since senior year of high school. I've just revised it a little bit over time. Then the big thing now that I'm doing, that I'm getting into, which is what I believe is going to make me a multimillionaire by 2027 probably, is I took some of the profits out from my live account. I got a new TradeSync thing, and I've added about 20 PA accounts to my fleet on TradeSync. So now I have my live account, I have 5 Top Steps, I have 3 alphas, and then the next NFP that comes through, I'm going to be gambling 5 Lucids, 5 Tradeifys, and what was the other one? Maybe it was like Take Profit Trader, I think. 5 Take Profit Trader, some shit like that. I'm going to get anywhere from 18 to 23 accounts. And if NFP doesn't pass them, then I'll just do it on CPI. I'll just do it until I pass them. I'm not that worried about them. I have enough money where I can just spend them on the evals until they pass. But my goal now for all of 2026, build those guys up to 3K and then pay them out, because obviously the live account will continue to grow over time. But let's say I have 18 accounts and I make $3,000 on all of them, and then I pay out the $1,500. Each payout cycle will be 27 grand. So the way that now I've gotten to this point, I've made my money already from trading, and that started all from this process of just scaling up and stuff like that. So now what my goal is for right now is to just repeat those payout cycles of 27K, do it about 3 to 4 times, then blow them, get rid of them so that these props don't move me to live, and then I'm gonna replace them with 100Ks and do the same thing, but now with 3K payouts. So now instead of it being 27K per payout cycle, it'll be 54. I'll do 4 of those, blow them, repeat, shit like that. So that is my scalability and the journey, where my journey is right now. My journey for right now for 2026 is to do that. But before this video ends, I've told you how I started. I've told you where I'm at right now. Let's focus on the middle part and focus on the negatives, the drawbacks of this journey, because every trader has them. So, first drawback, there were two, we'll say 3 main drawbacks. One, right when I started and I had a little bit of that beginner's luck with those Top Step evals back senior year of high school. I remember just blowing the eval without getting a payout. And I did that shit in the middle of class one time. And I was just fucking destroyed, because then I remember I spent the activation fee, so I was down $200 from that. And I had like no money, bro. I was a fucking high schooler. I had, my money from stocks, but a lot of that was put away into long terms. So I was like, bro, I have no fucking money. And I remember talking to Paul about it, and I was just like, dude, this shit is fucking impossible. Like, that was when I kind of looked at myself and I was like, all right, is this a psychology thing, or am I just not good enough at this thing and I've rushed my process? And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people will tell me to teach them how to trade, and then a weekend they'll be like, all right, is it time to buy my account? Is it time to, what about this? Should I take a trade today? Like, I was on here and I was trying to paper trade this. Like, paper trade what, dude? You don't have a fucking strategy. So I remember just looking myself in the face and just being like, bro, I don't think I'm ready for this yet. After I blew that PA, I went back and I started back testing way more, like actually back testing, not like a week of data, like months and months and months of data, and being like, okay, this is how I execute, this is what the setup is, this is what I should be looking for. And everybody says, oh, back testing, like, is hit or miss. No, back testing is what you need for 2 reasons. One, back testing will make you more confident in your model just subconsciously, because you'll go into every single day trading and you'll be like, I've seen this setup play out multiple fucking times. Like, if you backtest 100 trades and 70% of them hit, and they all are like the same setup, same type of thing, like fair value gap bounce, inverse, everything like that, like the shit I trade, then when you're trading in the live market and you see that setup perfectly formed, you're going to be like, well, I've seen this hit multiple times, so why don't I go for it? So it subconsciously gives you confidence in the model. But 2, it also allows you to see shit better in real time. What I mean by that is, like, if you're back testing and you're like, all right, it seems like when I long into a 5-minute gap, it tends to reject and then stop me out. So then in live time, you're learning and you're adapting to new conditions. Just like in the back test, where like you could back test January of 2024 versus September of 2024 and be like, okay, we're moving a little bit differently. Maybe it was because of the election, maybe it was because of this. For example, just recently in October with the government shutdown, we had way choppier price action, and that was where I struggled, but I didn't have any back testing data on that originally. So that would be an example. Like, just 2 months ago, I struggled heavily over the government shutdown because of all the shitty ass volume and no real clear moves happening. So that shows like I should have back tested a government shutdown before trading it. So that shit will just always get you more data. Second big drawdown was that losing streak that me and Jake went on in March of earlier this year, because I had just seen straight up success ever since like the end of senior year to that point. I could not lose. My setups were working. And immediately when I saw this losing streak where like my accounts were starting to get blown, like all the accounts that I had copied over, I was like, fuck, maybe my system doesn't work. Maybe my strategy doesn't work, which is so stupid because it had worked for so fucking long that not only was I then starting to take bullshit ass trades that weren't following my strategy, but I was starting to lose confidence. And I was like on YouTube, like, all right, what is supply and demand? Like, what is trendline trading? Like, I started looking at all these different ways to trade the market. I remember I one time was trading and I went on Patrick Whelan's live stream because he'll live trade and he trades like VWAP and SMA and shit like that. And I was looking at this, like trying to take a trade with him, even though I had fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars in payouts with ICT models that I had back tested and studied and spent hours learning. So that was my second drawdown where I was like, bro, what the fuck am I doing? I'm losing all confidence in my model, which in turn is making me way less efficient and just overall a dumbass. So that was kind of what happened. That was my second big negative, and one of the big step backs in my journey, because I was just like, bro, like I was second guessing everything that had gotten me to the point that I was at. I was like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know why my strategy isn't working, and this is the first time that I've experienced it. Maybe it got patched or some shit. Like, no, always, always, always trust your model in the long run and trust your data. If your model isn't working, journal every single day. Regardless of a win or loss, I have a trading journal in my Discord that even free users can look at, and I journal every single trade every single day, because win or lose, there's something to learn from it. You know, and there's always like more analysis that you can do. Like, okay, did this trade lose because of conditions? Did this trade lose because I fucked up and traded inside of this gap or something like that? There's always more shit to learn. And that was something that I wasn't really thinking about back then. And this was fucking 7 months ago, you know? Like you're constantly learning shit. And I've made so many improvements. It was more like 9 months ago actually, but there were so many improvements that I've made over that time, and even over 2026, I'm gonna make so many improvements as a trader and as a person from the person I am right now. And that's why it's such a good journey, because trading is basically like a self exploration journey. Like you start to learn more about yourself, not only as a trader but also mentally as a person, like how you handle different stressful situations, how you'll handle drawdown and losing streaks, how you'll handle winning streaks. Will you be greedy? Will you start to risk more? Will you start to like find yourself looking up what Lambo to buy, shit like that? So that's why trading is such an interesting job. Trigger warning with that word. But that's why it's such an interesting career, because you're like, you know, everything is based on you. Some people can get through their job by doing bullshit all fucking day, but trading, it's like, okay, imagine you go to work and you grind, like you work your ass off the whole day, and then at the end of the day, your boss comes up to you and he says, hey, you did really well today, but not only are you not making money for today, I'm actually going to take money out of your paycheck. That's kind of how trading is. You could come in and do the right shit every single day, and the market will not give a fuck. The market does not care about every single individual person, especially you. So if you come in and you trade your strategy right, you're basically just putting it up to the market's hands. You have your data based on what the market does. Literally, the only thing you have control over is what trade you take. Will you take a trade, and what will it be? The market has control over everything else. Just like in backtesting, did you have control over how the market moved in backtesting? No, you had control over, did I take a trade, and if so, was it at this point, this point, this point? Then the market will decide whether or not that trade hits, and that's how you get your stats. That's how you get your probabilities. That's how you get your win rate, everything like that. So it's the same in live time. In live time, you need to understand that the market controls everything besides the trade you take. That's all you. And, the only other thing you can possibly control is how you react to that. How do you react to that outcome? You control what trade you take, and you control how you react to whether it wins or loses. And the truth is, that's why I have my one trade a day rule, because there are times where I lose and I'm like, fuck, I got to get this money back. But then I'm like, one trade a day, and I have note cards all around my desk right now. You guys can't see them. That says like, okay, one trade a day. Be disciplined and execute day by day. 80% proven win rate from backtesting. Real trading is boring. Like all of these note cards that are reminders to myself, and I read them every single day. To be like, listen, you take one trade a day, you have mathematical statistics that prove your shit works, so just trust it. Win or loss, day by day, does not fucking matter. Just trust your shit. And that was something that I had a really hard time understanding during this losing streak that me and my friend went on. Then, third and final drawdown period was right when I opened that live account. I opened that live account, and of course, right, just luck has it, I go on like one of my worst losing streaks ever right when I opened the live account. And they were good trades. Like, they were solid trades. I think I lost 4 trades in a row, which I had never done before, right when I opened the live account. And all 4 of them were good trades, which is just so typical. But I lost those 4 trades, and I immediately was like, holy shit, like, this is real money that I'm losing. This isn't prop firm money. This is real money. I'm losing this money. All of that is just taken from my pocket. And it made me start to reevaluate, like, okay, should I be trading on a live? Once again, does my strategy work? Are my statistics right? Everything like that. And that was a huge hole in my journey that just made me think, like, fuck, my psychology is not up to where it should be. And obviously I got out of that hole. My live account is up and good now, and now I have all these prop accounts that are copied with it. And I'm really, right now, I'm at the peak of my trading career. capital wise, performance wise, psychology wise. Like I've never felt better about my trading. And 2026, that's why I'm so confident it's going to be a fantastic year. Where I've just been scaling up and getting into a better position. And 2026, I'll be rotating all these bigger PA accounts and just fucking multiplying my payouts, getting all this money. So I'm really excited for 2026. But the truth is, in this journey, like I had these low points where I would be looking at myself and being like, fuck, like just doubting everything about myself. Like, does this shit work? What should I do? Everything like that. And the truth is, you need that as a trader. You need to go through those periods where you're like, does my shit work? Like, am I doing this right? Everything like that. It is literally a necessity because you need to get humbled in the market and realize that the market doesn't give a fuck about you as a person, doesn't give a fuck about your payout. It's not like the market wakes up every day and it's like, hey, I think Jack is $300 from a payout on Top Step. I'm going to fade his fucking account and make this trade get fucked by $8,000. Like, no, that's not how it works. You're going to take the setup regardless. The market's going to move regardless. And you're going to risk whatever you're going to risk. And then you're going to react to it however you want to. That is how your trading journey will work. So the earlier on that you can backtest a strategy, like it, get good results with it, and then just execute it without giving a fuck, that is when your journey will really start going from here to here. All right, I promise it'll be linear. Like there's always gonna be some fucking dips in the world. Like even with me, like I had already made a bunch of money from trading when I started that live account and had that losing streak. That shit fucking happens. It is never about what happens in trading. It's about how you react to it and can you trust your model over time. So I guess the best way to summarize it is just trust your system, trust the math, trust whatever higher power you believe in. I believe in God, and I think I'm a Catholic, and I think you guys should seek out religion if you want. But I'm always going to be praising that Jesus Christ is the way to go with trading. And trading, a lot of successful traders are believers in Jesus Christ, believers in God, believers in a higher power in their religion. And I believe that Catholicism has saved me and also made me a much better trader, as well as a much better person during this trading journey. And I'm always going to be, strong and very open in my beliefs about that because of how much it has just advanced my life. And I think that's definitely set me in such higher highs in this trading journey. I even have tattooed on my chest Proverbs 16:9, which states that a man plans his course or a man plans his steps, but the Lord establishes his course or his steps. So basically what that means is a man will plan his path, a man will plan what he wants, I want to get successful in trading. I want to hit these highs. I want to, make a bunch of money. I want to buy this car. But the Lord will establish your steps. The Lord will say, okay, you're going to get here. This dip is going to happen. This high point is going to happen. So every single step that happens in my journey, I always had to keep in my mind that is what the Lord is determining for me. That is what I must be adjusted to. That is what I must trust in this process. And if you're watching this, you probably want to be a profitable trader. You want to be a successful trader. You want that freedom that trading gives you. And I'm telling you that God put that vision in your mind for a reason. God would not give you a vision and would not give you the passion to chase that vision for no reason. He put that in you for a reason, and you're going to get there. You just have to trust his process and just trust God's plan along your journey, and you will reach your destination, I promise. 2026 is going to be a big fucking year. We're going to grow our social media account here, so please subscribe if you haven't. Check out our Instagram, JJ Futures Official. Also check us out on TikTok. I think it's jj.futures. You'll find it. And yeah, so I really appreciate you guys. If you've watched the whole video, this is the journey, how I got from $0 to hundreds of thousands. And at the end of 2026, I'm going to be making a video. And you guys, I'm manifesting it. I can tell you right now, I'm going to be making a video how I made $1 million trading in 2026 as a 20-year-old. So, because I'm 19 right now. So yeah, that is my journey. Really excited for this new year with you guys. I'm ready to close out December strong. Merry Christmas. It'll be in here in only about 20 days, less than 20 days now. So Merry Christmas. Close out the trading year strong. If you're trying to get into trading for the new year, I really recommend that you check out our boot camp. You check out my free Discord. We have a lot of resources there, and you could check out some of our live trading. I'll be live trading for free tomorrow, Monday, December 8th, so you could check out my thought process there. I'm also thinking of recording my live trading sessions and posting them on YouTube. I'm going to ask my Discord about that tonight. Just so you could see like my live thought process in case you can't make the live stream. So yeah, have a great one. That's my journey, and I'm excited to close out the year strong and then have a fantastic 2026 with you guys on this trading journey. Good luck.